So how you doing? So I've been working on the log splitter, working on coming up with a 4-way split option. I actually kind of went a little further than that, made a couple of repairs, but I'm going to show you here in a second what I've come up with so far. This is going to be one of those things that I'm going to be playing with for a while, you know, just trying to make the job a little easier. It took me a tremendous amount of time to get this far, but I'm going to show you where we're at, and we're going to make some test cuts on our 4-way option today. So let me show you the splitter and we'll go from there. All right, so there's what she looks like right now. Nothing too extravagant. You'll notice I cut 2 slots there. So the first slot's at 4 inches, the next one will be at 8 inches, at 8 inches. So I can technically split the 2 different, you know, sizes. But you might think, well, you can throw another blade in there and use it as a 6-way, but it won't work with this setup. It actually would wedge between the blades and everything will get jammed up, because the blades need to be kind of, you know, at an angle of each other. Everything needs to be pointing away from each other. Otherwise it'll jam up. So I think I am going to explore the 6-way option in the future, but not for now. I think I'm going to leave it as a 4-way. Now, there's no pin in this. It's just laying there. I'm kind of curious to see if it's going to need pinned or if it'll stay put. I want to see, you know, how that develops. I mean, if it falls out every now and again, or if it needs just bumped over to the side a little bit periodically, that's not that big of a pain in the butt, if you know what I mean. Now, I made 2 of those blades. You see how that one has a little bit of an angle to it? I have another one over here. It's laying here. So, yeah, this one's flat. As you can see, I got it made up as well. So I have the 2 different styles, but if I want to go to a 6-way type of a design, I'll probably have to start off with a flat blade. Having this big triangle shape just won't work for going any more than a 4-way split. So I've already tested it, tried testing it as a 6-way, and it doesn't work because of that triangle shape. So I'd have to get a big piece of steel just to run like a single blade up and it come off of that. But for now, this is the way I'm going to leave it. I have the option of 4 or 8 inches. So that's what we're going to test today. Now we're going to take some of this firewood off of the log pile. I'm going to get maybe 8, 10, 12 pieces off of this. Probably off that log and those 2 logs. Now they're pretty average for the size that's on this pile. And I'm talking about that one and those 2 there. As you can see, they're pretty average. There are some bigger ones, but it's an average size. So that's what we're going to test off of. And we're going to fire up a saw, get them cut, and get it tested. Now for a little bonus on this video, we're going to run an old saw. There's a reason. So last time we worked firewood at this pile, I was down here a lot with my dad, and you know, he wouldn't do much more than just sit there and watch mostly, but he helped a little bit if he could. Maybe hold the piece of wood still for me, you know what I mean? But we're gonna run the same saw that I ran the last time I worked firewood with my dad at this spot. So we are running the exact saw. It's a Homelite XL-700, built right around 1968. Manual oiling saw, not a fast turning saw. It is noisy, but it cuts wood. I don't even know what kind of shape the chain's in. The gas that's in it's like 2 years old, so, you know, we're still gonna run it. We already need 8, 10, 12 pieces of wood or whatever, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make the first official cuts on this pile off of that saw, and we're gonna test the splitter with it. So just a little bonus to the video. So what do you say we get the saw going here and get some wood cut? Alrighty. Now, those of you that have been here since the beginning will recognize this saw. The first saw I really put the details of on the channel when I was working on it, because it was a complete basket case. Like, it got crushed by a tree, and we took care of all the repairs, and you can see this thing runs great. Not fast, but I have absolutely no issues with this saw ever. Starts every time, you know. She's a manual oiler, so you just got to remember to pump the oil. But other than that, yeah, she cuts great. What do you say we grab some wood here, get it to the splitter, and see how this thing does? Alrighty. didn't have any issues really at all. I mean, you gotta watch your knots, of course. You don't want to try to send your knot right through the X. You want to stick your knots off to the corners, unless it's the initial split, and you can come straight back from this. So the best way to go through a knot is to put the knot opposite of the main blade, straight up and down, because then it'll split, you know, right up through the center of the knot. But otherwise, you just keep the knot off to one of the corners and you're pretty much fine. So yeah, there we go. I can always take that piece off, you know, it's just sitting there. And, you know, if I want to, I can just pull that off and hit a big knot, like a big crotch or something. I can just slide that out and plow through the crotch. So yeah, I'm pretty happy now. So having that 4-way on there definitely saves a lot of time, I'll tell you. I bet you this splitter will now keep up with a guy who, like, if you had one guy cutting and feeding the splitter, one guy splitting, I bet you the splitter would keep up. It's running that much faster now. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked now. So yeah, there we go. First official cuts off of this pile. We're gonna save the rest for the chainsaw event. I might come down here one more time and cut a few pieces of wood, make a special video, but that'd be about it. For the most part, this is going to stay, this whole pile is going to stay for the July event. And I can tell you, don't run your rakers deep. This thing's not going to agree with you. The wood's already pretty well dried out. So set your rakers up at about 25 thousandths for this pile. Otherwise, she'll get quite chattery on you, I think. I'm just telling you what I think. It's definitely not sappy wood, so just be prepared for that. But alrighty, hope you enjoyed this little video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.